Mr. Kimler? Yeah, on Mario Blunt. That's a sentencing.
Judge, I've spoken to the probation officer who's here, and I'm just going to ask the court to follow her recommendation. The one allegation that would have been proved up is a misdemeanor assault from last year that was never filed by the police department.
Okay.
It looks like we don't need to proceed on that.
So it looks like the recommendation is substance abuse.
ISF, or substance abuse ISF.
Well, it actually says substance abuse cognitive, and we can't do both. So
Is there one more than the other? Understanding that the problems are both cognitive and drug. In your opinion, what do you think is best?
Cognitive first with JCBI after.
okay, that would make sense.
So that would be I understand this isn't an agreement, I don't think, but this is what we're asking the court to do based on the pleas that have been entered in probation's report.
I guess we're on the record.
Mm-hmm.
In talking with Mr. Blunt, I think that he will do, obviously he's not going to refuse ISF. He was going to suggest that he's using or has used marijuana or THC in the past to cope with anxiety issues in lieu of ISF to perhaps try to pursue something through MHMR.
Well, he didn't just use THC. He also used methamphetamine, and I'm pretty sure that's not very good for anxiety.
Well, he's not contesting ISF.
Yeah. So, Mr. Blunt, you're on probation for an extremely serious offense. I could be sending you to prison today for a very long time for violating your probation. Sounds like probation's willing to work with you. You've done some positive things while you're on probation, which are good, that you are going to treatment. You've made a great deal of progress. Those are the things that I'm really concerned about, but they're not the only things I'm concerned about. You've got to follow all of the rules, not just some of them. You've got to get this drug deal kicked. If you don't, you're going to go to prison over drugs instead of really what you are the underlying offense is. Do you understand?
Yes,
We're going to give you the opportunity. We're going to give you treatment. You take advantage of it and change that part of your life. Great. If you don't, you're back in here, and this is going to be zero tolerance. There's no messing up at this point.
Yes,
Do you understand?
Yes,
If the treatment that you're getting through JCDI is not enough, it's going to be up to you to be a grown-up and go to probation and say, I'm feeling tempted. I need more help. Nobody wants to go into custody for more help, but it's better to go in for 90 days than it is to go to prison for up to 20 years. Right? Okay. So in clause number 15-21380, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 2 and 3 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and revoke your probation, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow the recommendation of the district attorney in probation and continue you on probation in order that you enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. And then when you're released, you will enter and successfully complete the JCDI program. These programs are doing two different things. The first one is to help you make better decisions. It's about thinking and making better decisions. The JCDI program is the drug intervention program to help you with what you need, hopefully, to stop using drugs. So you're going to have all the tools that you need to make these better decisions, and then it's going to be up to you. Continue doing everything you're supposed to through your treatment and other things like that. It sounds like that hasn't been an issue. You're still on a deferred probation. You're still not convicted of this offense. If you're back in here again, in all likelihood, you will be convicted and you will be going to prison for a very long time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am.
Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Thanks to the state of Texas.
For the defense? Are you Sean Branch?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You entered a plea on May 11th to aggravated sexual assault of a child. You entered a plea of guilty. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 20 years. The state is opposing your application, and there's to be no contact with the complainant. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state? Defense? Any objection? All right. Any witnesses?
From the state.
Just Mr. Branch, maybe want to say something to the court, but I have some things to put on the record.
All right, Mr. Branch, if you would like to say anything to the court, you'll be placed under oath and the state will have a chance to cross-examine you. So do you wish to say anything?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right. State, you're opposed?
Yes, Your Honor. The reason the state is opposed is, this wasn't just a one-time incident. It happened multiple times. There's a confession in this case. When questioned by the detective, Mr. Branch told the detective that the complainant let him know that she had previously been sexually abused and that she would touch him in different ways and basically that she was coming on to him. The state's argument is that's no excuse. The defendant should have told the complainant that he's an adult and that the way she's acting is not the right way to act with adults and taken the lead and made her understand that the right way that adults should behave around children. Instead of that, the defendant took advantage of the complainant and had sex with her in various ways, oral sex, and placed his hand with his hand. For that reason, the state is asking for you to sentence the defendant to 20 years TDC.
All right, defense.
And those are all reasons why Mr. Branch pled guilty, and guilty as opposed to no contest. He knows he's responsible. He knows what he should have done. He knows what he didn't do that he should have done, and so he pled guilty. Fact is, this man has no prior contact with justice. He served 8 years in the U.S. Army, deployed twice to Iraq as infantry and field artillery. And he has no excuse for what he did, which is why he pled guilty. And this is not offering him background as an excuse, but as potential mitigation of punishment, which the law allows. We have ranges of punishment for these things, especially a first degree, 5 to 99 or life, for a reason. And if anybody should maybe qualify for probation in such a case, among other people who may have such a case and worse records or other things in their past, I would think it would be Mr. Branch, simply because he's never had contact with the justice system before. And so we're asking that you give him that chance. Judge, how rigorous, from both your experience as a defense attorney, prosecutor, and judge, how rigorous sex offender probation is. It's not a walk in the park by any stretch. And again, other than these incidents, he's got no other issues in the past. So we were hoping that the court might see it that way, but if not, we're asking the court if you consider at least imposing something lower than the cap.
Wait for it.
All right.
He's doomed.
So my understanding from reviewing things, if my math is incorrect, let me know that it's incorrect. But from what I can see, she was 12. Am I reading this incorrectly?
It's the state's understanding, Your Honor.
Because it's alleged to have happened on or about 2016, and the date of birth is 2004, so she's either 12 or 13.
That's right. Now we all know that this guy's a piece of shit and now super doomed.
Stands to reason that's what made it aggravated as opposed to
the
use of force or a weapon.
No, I'm just trying to figure out the age. All right, is there anything else?
I don't believe so. Do you have anything else you want?
Yes, sir. Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, court will find you guilty, and I understand your service to our country, Mr. Branch.
I don't understand why you would say thank you for your service, as I wouldn't say that to a priest that was a sex offender.
And I understand
To me, he's just a sex offender who was masquerading as a soldier. As for me, part of being a soldier is to fight like hell to protect the people of your country and community, which is the very opposite of what this thing did.
what you're saying happened, and I reviewed everything, and I understand that you did enter your confession to the police, and you pled guilty to the court. The court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison.
Excellent.
There's to be no contact with the complainant, Chapter 62 registration, and credit for any time served. All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Branch, I will tell you, I do recognize and appreciate the fact that you decided to enter a plea of guilty, the fact that you owned up to what you did, and that you know it was wrong. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you are new, welcome to my channel, Off the Record, where I hand select the finest of court cases of the US of A, and then I remove everything that bores the hell out of me, such as the mandatory readings into the record and all the other legalese. And I also cut out any pauses where the judge reads in silence or they are waiting on responses that never come. And I do this for my subscribers to pay them respect. For if my subscribers are going to spend their time with me on my channel, then that time shall be well spent. So please subscribe, and I will do my best never to waste your valuable time. Please check out what I mean by clicking the episode on screen now, and I promise I won't waste your time.